What's up, everybody? So in this life, right, we all just want to be accepted, we all just want to be appreciated, and we all just want to be loved, right? But sometimes we speak off of emotion, and we speak out of frustration, right? And we say things that stick with people long term, right? But what good is it to abuse our words? What good is it to say things and to hurt people's feelings and make their existence on this earth lesser of what it could have been, right? Because with our words, we can literally create life, and we can uplift somebody. We can raise somebody's vibration, raise somebody's mood, right? And increase somebody's self-esteem, increase somebody's thought process about themselves and their self-image, right? You can literally help somebody to feel better about themselves, and you can plant seeds into this earth, and your seeds can turn into a flower, which can then turn into a garden, or the seeds that you plant could literally turn into toxicity, and it could turn into weeds, right? It could be something that spoils the garden, right? It's all up to you. It's all about how responsible you are and your intentions behind what you say, right? And being careful when you're saying things and recognizing your emotions, recognizing how you're feeling, right? Because for me, what I start noticing is like the more frustrated I am, the less I should speak, right? Because I'm more likely to just say things that I end up regretting, or I'm apologizing for it later. And some things you're just not able to take back. Like even if you apologize to a person and you say something that's hurtful, right? And even if a person realized that you didn't mean what you said, like you don't even stand on it, and they recognize that your apology is just genuine, it is just pure, right? The things that you have said might still replay in their head, right? So even though they acknowledge that it's not true and that you didn't mean it, they still might consider what you said, right? For example, you could call somebody ugly, right? You could be mad, like, shut up, shut your fat ass up, your ugly ass, right? And let's say a person was battling with their weight for majority of their life, right? But let's say they lost a lot of weight and they're in great shape now, right? And let's say they had a person that they had a crush on, let's say in middle school per se, right? And this person didn't really find them attractive, or this person chose their friend over them, and this affected them, right? And they always question if they were good enough, or if they were good looking enough, right? So now here you are calling this person ugly and calling this person fat, right? Even though they might look good or they might be in shape, they might still question if they're the right size, or if they're good enough, or if they look good enough, right? And they still might question if they're good looking enough, or if they're beautiful enough, right? So although you saying these things out of frustration and you may not actually mean it, and even though they might think highly of themselves, it could be something that can still replay in their head, and they can still hear those words again and again and again, right? Even though it's not necessarily true, and even though they fighting off the doubt, right? So this is why words are so powerful, and you got to be careful what you're saying, because you could say things that could really impact the person in a negative way for years down the line. Like you could put hands on a person and dismantle them and abuse them physically during a particular moment. They could be bruised up and all that, and they could heal. But you could say things to a person, right? And this thing stick with them for the rest of their life. So, you know, verbal abuse to me is way worse than physical abuse. All abuse is wrong. But you just want to be careful what you're saying to people, right? We want to spread love. We want to be kind. And we just want to be mindful how we're treating others, because sometimes we can impact people in a negative way. And what good is it to do that when we can spread life and spread love? Peace. Spread love today on purpose.